Bye Munich, but is this really just a goodbye? As Taehyung shared a new Instagram story featuring Jungkook and J-Hope leaving together, ARMY around the world instantly began asking the same question. Where are they flying next? The emotional airport farewell, the private jet waiting on the runway, and the huge crowd waving goodbye have sparked countless theories online. Is this simply the end of their Munich schedule, or could it be the beginning of another surprise destination? In this video, we'll break down everything we know, examine the biggest clues from Taehyung's latest story, and explore why fans are convinced there's more behind this departure than meets the eye. Stay until the very end. You might notice a detail that everyone else missed. The goodbye that started 1,000 questions. The moment Taehyung uploaded that short Instagram story, everything changed. At first glance, it looked like nothing more than a simple farewell after Munich. 3 familiar figures, Taehyung, Jungkook, and J-Hope, walking side by side toward a waiting aircraft. They waved to thousands of cheering ARMY members lining both sides of the red carpet, smiling as if they wanted everyone to know how grateful they were. But within minutes, fans noticed something unusual. The story didn't include a destination. No caption explaining where they were going. No location tag. No hint about what would happen next. And suddenly, one simple airport goodbye became one of the biggest topics across social media. ARMY immediately began zooming into every frame of the story. Some focused on the aircraft itself. Others watched the timing of the upload. A few even compared the outfits with photos taken earlier that day, hoping to discover whether the story had been posted in real time or slightly later. Every tiny detail seemed to create another question instead of providing an answer. What made the situation even more intriguing was the timing. Munich had already witnessed unforgettable moments filled with emotional performances, loud cheers, and heartfelt interactions between BTS members and their fans. Many expected everyone to simply head home after the schedule ended. Instead, Taehyung's story suggested that the journey wasn't necessarily over. Were they traveling directly to another city? Was this simply a private transfer before their next official appearance? Or was there something much bigger waiting just beyond the cameras? Those questions spread through the fandom at incredible speed. Thousands of comments began appearing almost instantly. Some fans confidently believed they already knew the answer. Others admitted they had absolutely no idea. And many simply wrote the same sentence over and over. Where are they going? The curiosity wasn't driven only by the airplane. It was the atmosphere. The members looked relaxed, comfortable, almost as if they weren't saying goodbye to an event, but preparing for another chapter. Even security around them appeared calm, while the crowd continued waving banners wishing them a safe flight. The emotional farewell somehow felt incomplete, like this wasn't the ending. It was the beginning of something else. As speculation continued growing online, more fans started comparing recent schedules, possible travel routes, and upcoming events that could potentially match the timing. Piece by piece, theories began forming. Some sounded reasonable. Others seemed almost impossible. Yet every new guess only made the mystery even more fascinating. Because until someone officially confirmed their destination, every possibility remained open. And that's exactly why millions of eyes stayed locked on Taehyung's story. Not because of what it showed, but because of what it didn't. And the next clue that fans noticed may have changed the entire conversation. Every clue led to a different theory. Within an hour of Taehyung's story going live, the internet had already transformed a simple airport farewell into a worldwide mystery. No official statement had been released. No destination had been confirmed. Yet millions of fans were already trying to solve the puzzle. The first thing that caught everyone's attention was how naturally the 3 members appeared together. Taehyung, Jungkook, and J-Hope weren't rushing through the airport or surrounded by visible pressure. Instead, they walked at an easy pace, occasionally waving toward the crowd that had gathered to send them off. That calm energy immediately became part of the conversation. Some fans believed they looked too relaxed for a long international journey. Others argued that their expressions suggested satisfaction, almost as if an important mission had just been completed. But there was another detail that made the speculation even more interesting. Taehyung chose to post the moment himself. For many fans, that decision wasn't random. Taehyung has often shared memorable moments that capture emotions rather than explanations. Instead of writing long captions, he sometimes lets a single photo or a short video speak for itself. This story felt exactly like that. Simple, quiet, but somehow powerful enough to make millions of people stop scrolling. Soon, online communities began comparing the story with fan-taken photos from Munich airport. People zoomed in on the luggage, the members' outfits, the weather, even the angle of the sunlight. Some wondered whether the story had been uploaded immediately after filming or saved until later. Others tried to estimate how much time had passed between the farewell and the upload itself. None of those observations revealed where the members were going. Instead, every answer seemed to create two more questions. Meanwhile, another discussion quickly gained momentum. Could this departure be connected to BTS' upcoming tour schedule? Fans started opening calendars, checking announced concert dates, travel distances, and possible rehearsal windows. If another performance was approaching, leaving Munich soon would certainly make sense. But without confirmation, every route remained only a possibility. Then another theory appeared. Some believed the members were simply returning to South Korea for a short break before their next official commitment. Others disagreed, pointing out that artists often travel through multiple countries before heading home, especially during busy international schedules. Again, nothing could be confirmed. That uncertainty only fueled the excitement. The comments beneath reposted clips reflected the same feeling over and over again. I have a feeling they're not done yet. There's definitely another surprise coming. I can't stop refreshing for updates. Whether those guesses would eventually prove correct remained unknown. Still, one thing became obvious. The mystery itself had become almost as exciting as the destination. And perhaps that was exactly why the story spread so quickly. It wasn't just about an airplane. It wasn't even about an airport. It was about the feeling that something important might be happening just outside the frame. The camera only showed a few seconds, but those few seconds were enough to spark thousands of conversations across different countries, languages, and fan communities. Everyone was looking at the same video, yet everyone saw something slightly different. Some saw three friends leaving after an unforgettable event. Some saw the beginning of another chapter. Others believed the story contained hidden clues waiting to be discovered. Hours continued to pass, but the biggest question remained unanswered. Where exactly were Taehyung, Jungkook, and J-Hope heading after saying goodbye to Munich? As fans searched for more evidence, a completely new clue suddenly appeared, one that shifted attention away from the airport itself and towards something almost nobody had noticed during the first viewing: the story everyone saw, but nobody could fully explain. As the hours passed, Taehyung's story continued to spread across every major fan community. What was remarkable wasn't its length. By the next morning, the excitement surrounding Taehyung's story had only intensified. Instead of fading away like most social media updates, it continued to dominate conversations among ARMY worldwide. Fan pages, discussion forums, and reaction channels were all asking the same question: what comes after Munich? It seemed like such a simple question, yet no one had a definitive answer. That uncertainty became the driving force behind every new discussion. Unlike previous departures that were followed by official announcements or confirmed schedules, this moment remained surrounded by silence. There was no immediate update explaining where Taehyung, Jungkook, and J-Hope had gone after boarding the aircraft. For fans, silence can often be just as powerful as information. Without confirmed details, imagination naturally filled the gaps. Some believed the members were heading toward another European destination connected to future activities. Others suggested they were beginning the long journey back to South Korea after completing an unforgettable chapter in Germany. Both ideas sounded possible. Neither could be confirmed. That balance between possibility and mystery kept everyone watching. Meanwhile, many fans began revisiting everything that had happened in Munich itself. The concerts had delivered unforgettable performances. The atmosphere had been electric from beginning to end. Fans traveled from dozens of countries just to witness those special nights. For many people, Munich had become more than another stop on a tour. It had become a place where unforgettable memories were created. Perhaps that was exactly why Taehyung chose to end his Munich chapter with a simple farewell instead of a dramatic message. Sometimes, saying goodbye requires very few words. A wave, a smile, a short story. Those small moments often leave the biggest emotional impact. As fans reflected on that thought, another interesting observation emerged. It lasted only a few seconds. Yet those few seconds generated conversations that refused to slow down. Normally, after an international schedule, airport departures follow a familiar pattern. Artists wave goodbye, board their flights, and fans wait quietly for official updates or the next appearance. This time felt different. Instead of ending the excitement, the airport farewell seemed to create an entirely new chapter. One reason was the emotion captured in the moment. Thousands of ARMY members stood behind the barriers, waving banners and raising their phones to record what could be the final glimpse of Taehyung, Jungkook, and J-Hope in Munich. Some were smiling, while others appeared emotional, knowing the unforgettable memories from the city had come to an end. The members responded with warm waves and appreciative gestures. There was no rush, no visible stress. Only genuine gratitude toward the fans who had waited for hours just to say goodbye. For many viewers, that emotional connection became just as important as the mystery itself. But then people began asking another question. Why did Taehyung choose this exact moment to share? He could have uploaded a concert photo, a backstage selfie, a meal, or even a quiet sunset from Munich. Instead, he shared the very moment of departure. Some fans believed it was simply his way of thanking everyone before leaving Germany. Others wondered whether the story was meant to mark the beginning of another journey. Without any caption, everyone was free to interpret the post differently. That freedom fueled even more discussion. Soon, fan accounts started creating side-by-side comparisons with previous BTS departures from other countries. They noticed something familiar. Whenever BTS completed major international schedules, unexpected moments often followed. Sometimes it was a surprise appearance. Sometimes an unannounced rehearsal. Sometimes a brief stop in another city before returning home. Of course, none of those past situations could confirm what was happening now. Still, they reminded fans that travel plans are often more complex than they first appear. Meanwhile, another topic quietly entered the conversation. The timing. Many noticed that the story appeared after Munich had officially become the focus of countless farewell posts. Almost every fan page was celebrating memories from the concerts, sharing favorite moments, and thanking the members for unforgettable performances. Then, almost at the perfect moment, Taehyung uploaded a story showing not the concert, but the departure. It shifted everyone's attention instantly. The conversation was no longer about what had happened in Munich. Now it was about what would happen next. Speculation reached an entirely different level. Some fans studied possible flight routes, leaving Germany. Others searched upcoming event calendars across Europe and Asia. A few even calculated estimated travel times, trying to predict where the aircraft could realistically land. Every calculation sounded convincing, until another theory appeared. Then another. And another. No matter how logical each explanation seemed, one simple fact remained unchanged. Nobody outside the official team actually knew the destination. That uncertainty created something rare. For once, fans from different countries weren't debating facts. They were sharing possibilities. Each person brought a different perspective. Each theory reflected hope more than certainty. And perhaps that was the most beautiful part of the entire mystery. Everyone was watching the same goodbye, yet everyone imagined a different next chapter. As evening approached, anticipation continued growing. People refreshed social media again and again, waiting for the next story, the next airport sighting, or the next official update that might finally answer the question everyone had been asking since the moment Taehyung pressed post. But just when fans thought the mystery couldn't become any bigger, attention shifted to something no one had expected. A tiny detail that appeared completely ordinary at first glance, yet some believed it could reveal whether Munich was truly